Stop whatever you're doing right now. I need to talk to you while there's still time. There's a window open at this very moment, and it won't stay open for long. I showed you something before it was too late. It wasn't an accident that you landed on this message today. I moved your entire day so you'd stop right here, right now, because someone close to you is plotting something, and I decided to warn you before the plan goes through. It wasn't your carelessness. It was a setup, and the same heaven that showed you the trap has already decided to pull you out of it. Stick with me until the end, because before this message is over, you're going to know exactly who you are in the middle of this. You're going to learn to recognize the scheme that's underway, and you're going to receive the path to get out of it without fighting back, without getting dirty, without becoming what they tried to make you. I'm not going to tell you the person's name. You already know. Your chest tightened the moment I said the word close. Let me meet you where you are. There was a comment, said quietly, almost in passing, with a smile on top. It seemed small at the time, but it stayed. It stayed inside you for weeks, coming back at night, and you didn't understand why something so small wouldn't leave. You called yourself dramatic for it. There was a meeting. You started talking, and in the middle of your sentence, someone cut you off. It wasn't an accident, and the worst part wasn't the interruption. It was the silence of the others who saw and said nothing. You swallowed, smiled, moved on, but inside, something registered that you were alone in that room. You looked at your contact list and noticed something. You're never the first one called. When there's a party, you find out after. When there's a decision, you learn about it once it's made. You're on the list, but never at the top of it. And there was the time you tried to explain what you were feeling. You gathered your courage, opened your mouth, and the words came out too small. They seemed less than the pain was. So you stopped trying, and you learned to carry it in silence. And there were the nights when you lay down and your head wouldn't shut off, replaying conversations, searching for the exact point where something changed, trying to understand where you went wrong to deserve this coldness around you. You seek, you dedicate yourself, you do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part, you start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video and where you went wrong to deserve this coldness around you. You searched through your own memory like someone looking for a lost key, and you didn't find it because the mistake was never yours. But you didn't know that yet, so you blamed yourself in the dark, alone, while the world slept. And there was that nameless tightness in your chest, the one that came out of nowhere, in the middle of an ordinary day, and you couldn't tell where it came from. It wasn't exactly sadness. It wasn't exactly fear. It was your body carrying a truth that your mind hadn't let in yet. I know what that does to a person. Living surrounded by smiles that don't match the eyes. Trusting, only to discover your trust became a tool in the hands of someone you hugged. Serving, and realizing your service was read as weakness by those who only know how to measure people by what they can take from them. That doesn't make you weak. That makes you someone who trusted. And someone who trusts has a whole heart, not a naive one. You're still standing after all of this. That's more than many can do. Before we go on, do one thing for yourself. Hit the like button on this message. The like is your public amen. Heaven records what you confess openly, and by hitting that button, you're saying, yes, I want to see what they were hiding from me. That's your first act of courage today. Now hear the 3 things I came to promise you, and none of them will go unfulfilled within this message. The first, That discomfort you felt around this person wasn't paranoia. It wasn't your head making things up. It was your spirit recognizing what your mind refused to see. You weren't crazy. You were right before you had proof. The second, you're going to receive a way to release the bond with the one who plotted against you without becoming a prisoner of anger. Because anger, I guarantee you, is a second trap laid right after the first, and you're not going to fall for both. The third. By the end of this message, you'll be able to declare out loud that you're covered, that the plot no longer has access to you, that the door was closed from the inside. I placed you here because this word is for you. I saw your loyalty. I saw you being faithful to those who didn't deserve your faithfulness. I saw you covering failures that weren't yours, defending behind the scenes those who attacked you behind the scenes, giving the benefit of the doubt far beyond what anyone else would. And I want you to know something before anything else. Your loyalty wasn't wasted. It didn't fall to the ground. It was recorded. Every act of faithfulness that no one saw, I saw and noted. Nothing you gave in vain was lost in my books. What seemed thrown away was only stored in a place you can't yet see, and from there, it will return to you multiplied. Now I need you to be quiet inside. If you can, close your eyes for a moment, or just look away from the screen and breathe. Because I'm going to show you 5 signs. And some of them you'll recognize right away because you've already lived them and didn't know the name of what you were seeing. The first sign. An unexplained unease when a message from this person comes in. The name appears on the screen and something inside you tightens before you even read it. You called it your own quirk. Being in a bad mood. Being too sensitive. It was none of that. It was your spirit signaling what politeness was trying to drown out. Your body knew before your mind did. The second sign. Your information circulating through paths you didn't open. Someone found out something that only one specific person could have told. Things you said in confidence, in a moment of weakness, in a vent you thought was safe, reaching ears where they were never meant to go. You remembered the day you trusted them with that and realized only one person was there. You thought it was a coincidence. You tried hard to think it was a coincidence because the alternative hurt too much. It wasn't. It was the plot moving from intention into action. What was once a thought in someone's head had already become action in the world, and a plot in motion leaves a trail. You saw the trail before you understood it was a trail. The third sign. People changing their tone with you for no apparent reason. People who were close becoming strange. Looks that linger a second too long. Coldness where there was once warmth and you had no idea what you did. You didn't do anything. The narrative against you was being planted behind the scenes before it reached you. You felt the effect before you discovered the cause. The fourth sign. A strange quiet coming from the very person who used to seek you out constantly. The person who was all over you, suddenly gone. The contact that was constant, now spaced out, calculated. The messages that were long, now short, dry, too polite. You thought you did something wrong. You kept mulling over what it could have been. No, that silence isn't distance. That silence has a purpose. It's the retreat of someone waiting for the right moment to strike. The predator goes quiet before the pounce. Whoever pulls away like that isn't forgetting you. They're positioning themselves. They're gathering what they need before showing up with the blow ready. The next sign is the hardest one to hear. It's the one the enemy spent the most time trying to make you ignore. Because if you heard this one, you'd wake up, and they didn't want you awake. The fifth sign. A dream. Or a repeated feeling, always with this same person at the center. It came once and you dismissed it. It came again and you said it was nonsense, that your imagination was working overtime. It came one more time. You didn't want to pay attention because paying attention would mean facing what you didn't want to be true. But listen, I don't speak by accident while you sleep. When the same image comes back and back, it's not your mind tormenting you. It's me breaking through the noise to deliver a warning you wouldn't accept while awake. The title of this message called you by name because this sign is yours. You've already had it, and you tried to bury it. If this word reached you, if any of these signs made you stop, write the word free in the comments. It's not just a word. It's you declaring that you've opened your eyes, and heaven records everyone who chooses to see. Now close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you won't work if your attention is divided. Stop thinking about the person for a moment and just stay with me. I want to tell you two stories. One old, one from today. Pay attention to both because they're the same story, and that story is yours. There was a man named David. He served King Saul with complete loyalty. He played music to calm the king's soul when the torment came. He fought the king's battles. He was faithful even when it started to hurt. And what was the reward for all that loyalty? The king started plotting against him behind the scenes. He threw a spear when David least expected it. He sent men to watch David's house to kill him at dawn. He chased David through desert and cave year after year for an enemy he invented in his own head because he couldn't stand the light he saw in the younger man. David never raised his hand against Saul. He had the chance more than once and didn't strike back. And in heaven's time, not by David's hand, the throne that Saul tried to deny was exactly the throne where David sat. The plot set against him didn't bring him down. It only delayed what was already decided about him. Now the story from today. There's a river that, while flowing, found a stone wall placed across its path. They put the stone there to stop the water, to contain, to block, to prevent the river from reaching where it wanted to go. And for a while it seemed like it worked. The water pooled, stopped, rose in silence. But the water didn't give up, and it didn't fight the stone head on. It just kept coming, patient, unhurried, until it found the tiniest crack in the rock and began to pass through. And what seemed firm cracked. The stone that was placed to stop the river ended up being the exact place where the river carved the deepest passage of its history. The barrier didn't kill the river. It just taught it to open a path that, without it, it never would have opened. Do you see the bridge between the two? David was the water. Saul's persecution was the stone. And the throne was the passage the water opened through what tried to contain it. Without Saul chasing David through the desert, David never would have become the man the throne demanded. The very plot shaped him. The siege sculpted him. What they set up to bring you down is exactly the material I'm going to use to lift you up. They aimed at your end, and they marked, without knowing it, your beginning. The stone they placed to contain you will be the place where you carve your deepest passage. They thought they were closing a door. They were, without realizing it, opening a path that only exists because they put the stone there. If you recognize yourself in this story, if you've been betrayed by someone from your own house, write the word David in the comments. Let it be recorded in heaven and on earth that you are faithful even when it cost you dearly. Let me stop for a full minute. I want you to hear 4 things, slowly, one at a time. They're not my opinion. They're facts about what happened to you. You felt something was wrong before any proof existed. And you were right. Your perception didn't betray you. It was the only thing that didn't betray you. You were loyal even when loyalty started to hurt. You kept honoring a relationship that was already wounding you inside. That wasn't stupidity. That was greatness from someone who doesn't know how to betray. You carried alone a weight that belonged to the one who betrayed you. The guilt that was theirs, you wore it. The shame that was theirs, you felt it. You carried the bill for a mistake that wasn't yours, and you made it here still standing. Tired, maybe. Marked for sure, but standing, and that is the answer starting to arrive. I need you to hear this from my mouth before I tell you who you are. You were accused in silence. They talked about you in rooms where you weren't. They built a version of you that you never had a chance to respond to. And you could never defend yourself because they never told you what you were being accused of. But listen carefully. Heaven doesn't judge by rumor. I don't condemn anyone by what was whispered in the hallways. I judge by what I saw. And I saw everything. I was in every room where they erased you. I heard every word they said when you left. What you're about to hear isn't a human title. It's not a compliment to console you. It's what I call you when I speak of you in heaven. Hear who you are. The first identity. You are the watched by heaven itself. I saw every move made against you in the shadows that you never knew about. Every conversation behind your back. Every plan whispered when you weren't there. You didn't see, but I saw. Nothing happened in the dark without my light being there recording it. What this identity authorizes you to do is stop trying to figure everything out on your own. You can lower the exhausted guard of someone who watches all the time. The vigilance is no longer your job. I've taken the shift. You can sleep while your case is in hands that never doze off. The second identity. You are the one who doesn't react at the wrong time. I saw every time you wanted to strike back and held yourself. Every sharp response you swallowed. Every time your hand closed into a fist and you opened it again, even without understanding why you were holding back. You thought it was weakness, that it was your cowardice. It wasn't. It was my hand holding yours, because your retaliation at that moment would have ruined the victory I was already preparing. What this identity authorizes you to do is stop feeling weak for the restraint. That wasn't cowardice. It was divine strategy passing through your silence. You were quiet at the right time, and your silence preserved your place. The third identity. You are the one restored double. I saw everything that was taken from you by unjust hands. Item by item, the peace they stole, the name they stained, the opportunity they diverted, the relationship they poisoned. I counted everything, and none escaped my account. What this identity authorizes you to do is start expecting return, not just justice. Justice repairs. Justice balances the account at zero. But I don't do just the minimum. I'm not a cold accountant who returns the exact amount. What was stolen from you comes back with interest. What they took in one measure, I return in two. The peace they took, I return deeper. The name they stained, I return cleaner than it was before the stain. You're not leaving this story at zero. You're leaving with more than you entered with. And those who saw you fall will see you rise in a way they won't be able to explain, because the explanation will be me. Stop for a moment and write in the comments the name of the identity that touched you most right now. The watched, or the one who doesn't react, or the one restored double. Write the one that went deepest, because naming is receiving. And if this message is truly finding you, subscribe to this channel, because the next word heaven is going to send might be the exact continuation of this one. Now has come the moment I promised you at the beginning. The way out. I give you a protocol, and it has a name. It's called the Seal of Three Cuts. 3 cuts that close the plot and remove you from its reach. Do it with me. The first cut. Name. In a low voice, just for you and me, you're going to say the person's name and the bond that exists. Not to accuse. Not to curse. Just to acknowledge. Say who it is, and say what this person was to you. A brother, a friend, a partner, someone from inside your house. Because what has no name keeps ruling you from the shadows. As long as you call it maybe, I wonder, just in my head, the thing keeps having power over you. Because you haven't faced it directly. When you name it, you bring it out of the dark, and what comes out of the dark loses half its strength. The name spoken in truth is already half the chain broken. The second cut. Surrender the right to revenge. You're going to declare now that the cause is no longer yours to resolve. That you take this fight out of your hands and put it into mine. The vengeance you feel you deserve, you hand over to me. Not because what they did to you doesn't matter, but because it matters too much to be left in the small hands of your anger. Say it with me inside. The cause is heaven's now, not my hands. The third cut. Close the access door. You're going to decide a concrete, real, practical limit that takes away this person's power to reach you. It could be a conversation you'll no longer have, a space you'll no longer give, an access to your life you'll simply cut off. Not with a scandal, with quiet firmness. Closing the door isn't hatred, it's wisdom. Whoever leaves the door open for the one who hurt them keeps bleeding through the same crack. And when you make the 3 cuts, you'll feel a sign. It won't be euphoria. It won't be noisy relief. It will be stillness, a strange peace that settles in your chest. And that stillness isn't forgetting. You won't pretend nothing happened. That stillness is coverage. It's your spirit recognizing that now there's a roof over you that wasn't there before. If you're receiving this protocol, if you made the 3 cuts with me, write the word received in the comments. Let heaven record that you sealed the door today. Now I need to warn you about something, and I need you to take it seriously. In the next 72 hours, 3 things will be launched against you. Not as a possibility, as a certainty. Because every time someone seals a door, the enemy tries to open 3 windows. I'm going to tell you their names now, so that when they arrive, you'll recognize them and won't fall. The first tactic, the doubt of your own perception. It will arrive disguised as reasonableness. It will arrive through the calmest, most sensible voice you know, your own. It will whisper like this. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe it's all in my head. Maybe the person wasn't even that bad. Maybe I'm being unfair. Recognize this voice. It usually shows up right after a kind gesture from the person, a friendly nod, a nice message, something that seems to contradict everything you saw. That's exactly when it attacks. It comes precisely to make you unlock the door you just closed. Its weapon is making you doubt the same spirit that warned you and was right. Remember, you didn't invent the signs. You just took a while to believe them. The second tactic, the anger that pretends to be justice. It will arrive as a burning desire to expose, to strike back, to make the person pay in front of everyone. It will tell you it's justice, but it's a trap. Because while you're boiling with anger, you're still tied to that person by a chain you're holding yourself. Its weapon is to bind you to your abuser under the disguise of freeing you. Whoever strikes back stays. Whoever hands it over leaves. The third tactic, the wait for an apology. It will arrive as a sweet and poisonous thought. I'll only be at peace when they admit what they did, when they ask for forgiveness, when they acknowledge. And while you wait for that request, your wound stays open on purpose, because your healing is being held hostage by the mouth of the one who hurt you. Its weapon is to make you outsource your peace to someone who may never give it to you. And there's one last enemy, and this one is the subtlest of all, because it uses your own voice. It will whisper like this, with a face of maturity. If you were smarter, you wouldn't have let this happen. Some of the blame is yours too. Recognize this. That's not a lesson. It's guilt disguised as a lesson. It's the attempt to make you responsible for the evil someone else chose to do. You're not guilty for having trusted. Betrayal is always the choice of the betrayer, never the failure of the one who trusted. If you understood what's coming, and you're determined not to fall for any of the 3, write the word protected in the comments. The decree has been sealed over your life. Now we've reached the end, and the end is the most important part. I want you to do this with me for real. Put one hand on your chest, drop your shoulders, let them fall, and breathe slowly, deeply, once. It's just you and me now. You're going to hand over 3 weights to me. Say it with me, inside or out loud, as you surrender. I hand over the weight of watching who is against me. It's no longer my job to stand guard. I can rest. I hand over the anger that binds me to the one who hurt me. I don't want to carry this chain anymore. I let go of my end. I hand over the weight for an apology that may never come. My peace no longer lives in the mouth of the one who hurt me. My peace returns to my house. Now be quiet, because it's me speaking. I heard. You thought no one heard that comment said quietly, the one that stayed weeks inside you coming back at night. I heard. I was there when they said it, and I saw what it did to you. It didn't go unnoticed by me for a single second. I saw. You thought no one noticed the moment they cut you off mid-sentence in that meeting, and that everyone saw and no one defended you. I saw. I was in that room. I saw your sentence interrupted, and I saw the silence of those who should have spoken. And I tell you, what they silenced in you, I will make resound. What they tried to erase from you, I have already rewritten with my own hand. And I tell you more. You thought, at some point in these months, that you were alone in this, that no one saw, that no one understood, that you would have to endure it all silently and without a witness. You were never alone. I was in the room, in the hallway, in the conversation that happened behind your back, in the message they sent about you. I was in every place where you couldn't be to defend yourself, and what you couldn't answer, I answered in silence. And my answer has weight that no human word has. You were not forgotten. You were kept. The difference between these two words is everything, and today you leave knowing which one is yours. Forgotten is someone the world left behind. Kept is someone heaven reserved for the right time. You are the second. You have always been the second. I also saw the nights when you blamed yourself in the dark, searching your memory for the mistake that made you deserve this siege. I want you to stop searching, because there's nothing to find. You didn't set this up against yourself. You just trusted, and trusting was never a crime in my kingdom. The bill for this evil is not written in your name. It is written in the name of the one who did it, and I am the only one who collects that bill in my time, in my way, without you needing to dirty your hands. I cover your mind, so that doubt doesn't make you unlock what you sealed. When the voice comes saying you overreacted, you will remember that it was I who warned you. And I don't overreact. I cover your relationships so that you can distinguish who comes to add from who comes to use you. From now on, your discernment will work before, not after, and you will feel the difference between a real hug and a measuring hug. I cover your time so that you stop thinking it's too late, because my clock hasn't been a single minute late in your case. What seems like delay is preparation. What seems like slowness is protection. And I especially cover this. The plot they set against you. It has lost access. The door was closed from the inside, and the key is with me. There is no more entry where it could reach you, from surrounded to covered, from watched to kept, from betrayed to restored, from silenced to sent. You do not leave this message the way you entered. Now say it out loud, with your own mouth, because your mouth also needs to hear it. Say it like this: I am covered. The plot ended in me. Say it again, firmer. I am covered. The plot ended in me. It is done. What was delivered here was delivered, and it doesn't go back. If you made it this far, write the word done in the comments. Not as a formality, as a signature. You are signing under what heaven just declared over you. And think now of one person. Just one. Someone who at this very moment is surrounded and doesn't know it yet. Someone who is feeling the signs and calling it nonsense. You know who it is. Send this message to that person. It might be that you are the window heaven opened for them, just as someone, somewhere, was the window that opened for you. And come back tomorrow. Because the next word is already being prepared, and it continues exactly where this one stopped. It is done. You are not the same person you were when this message began. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part? You start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video.